I've completely lost track. How could anyone possibly remember every BYD EV and plug-in hybrid, every BYD model you can now buy? There is so many of them. Another day, another model, the BYD Sealion 05. I kid you not. This is a new EV from BYD. Yes, it's not the same as the BYD video that I did 4 days ago, which looked very similar to this, but it's different. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. I've just got back from Perth today and to fly back from Perth via Brisbane. There's no direct flights to Newcastle, and then a flight from Brisbane to Newcastle. So I left the hotel at about 8:30 in the morning, got home at 9:30 p.m. tonight, and I'm a bit tired. So forgive me, guys, if I slur my words or something like that. Anyway, BYD are expanding their lineup of Sealion vehicles. They have the Sealion 07 as well as now the Sealion 05. Plus they have the BYD Seal, the BYD Dolphin, the BYD Atto 3, the BYD Atto 3, the junior version, a smaller version of the Atto 3, the Atto 3, I think it's called the Atto 3 Plus in Australia. Anyway, the Sealion 05 EV is essentially the electric version of the existing Sealion 05 DMI. So there's a plug-in hybrid version of this already on sale in China, and BYD, as is often the case, made an electric version as well. How big is it? A little bit bigger than a BYD Atto 3, about 5% bigger. It's 4.5 meters long, so 4,520 millimeters, 1,860 millimeters wide, and 1,630 millimeters tall. Wheelbase, 2.7 meters long. That means it is 65 millimeters longer, 15 millimeters narrower, and 15 millimeters taller than an Atto 3. Wheelbase is exactly the same as the BYD Atto 3. How heavy is it? Well, the smaller battery version is 1,670 kilograms, which is around about 3,500 pounds. And the bigger version with the bigger battery is 1,780 kilos. We don't yet know the battery sizes, but from what it looks like, it appears that there will be a 50 kilowatt hour battery and a 60 kilowatt hour battery. The cheaper model has the smaller battery version has a 140 kilowatt motor, and the more expensive one has the 160 kilowatt motor. Does it have BYD's new Blade batteries? In fact, guys, there's actually 2 new Blade batteries coming out. I just kind of discovered this recently. They're different. So there's not actually a Blade battery version 2. There's a Blade battery version 2A and 2B. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. It won't have either of those new batteries, I don't believe. Anyhow, the DMI version of this, so the plug-in hybrid version has much smaller batteries. It's got a 13 kilowatt hour battery in the cheapest option and an 18 kilowatt hour battery in the more expensive version. Are BYD bringing these cars to other markets outside of China? Don't know. But if they do bring this car, I'd say get the EV version. Don't get the plug-in hybrid version. Plug-in hybrid resale values, in my opinion, are going to plummet over the next 10 years. Anyhow, if resale values don't matter to you, then buy whatever you want. So BYD did have a comment to make on this vehicle. They were asked, are you bringing this to Australia? And they said the new product pipeline is super exciting. Not a direct answer. We're exploring the entire BYD range, and if the demand is here for a specific model or segment, the vehicle will be brought in, said BYD Australia. Now, just want to make it very clear, I've said this many times, guys, these Chinese car companies, they do read the comment section. They do, on videos, not just from me, but from others as well, on websites. So if you want this car, or you want a Zeekr or an Xpeng or whatever model you want, you've got to comment in the comment section. And well, if you want it, then they do act on that. So they do actually ask journalists, they ask people, hey, are people telling you they want this car? Because if they want it, then we'll put in the investment, which is a pretty big investment to build a separate production line to build them in right-hand drive. Unfortunately, because we're left-hand drive here, it's not easy for these Chinese car companies. They've got to build a production line for right-hand drive vehicles. So you've got to basically say in the comments that you're interested. Is this a car you're interested in? Let us know below. BYD's next possibly global car, but we know it's being built in right-hand drive for the Australian market. That could potentially mean the UK, New Zealand, South Africa, Malaysia, definitely Thailand, Japan as well, potentially, it's been revealed. This is what apparently is their next EV coming to Australia. It's been trademarked. Is it an EV worth buying? I personally have a very definitive opinion on this. I know it's going to get me some haters. I know people are going to slag me off for saying what I'm about to say. But when I saw this news, I had a very strong reaction. And this is what it was. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. News has emerged over the past 24 hours, or at least when I'm filming this video. You may see it a day or two after that. That BYD are bringing a cheaper electric SUV to global markets, including particularly Australia. We know that because the name was trademarked. Now, BYD actually trademarked the name Atto 3 Up. So the word up is a reference, obviously, to the BYD, the yen up. And in China, the Atto 3, it's not called the Atto 3, it's actually called the yen. So the truth is, it's very clear here from the name that they have trademarked that the yen up is going to be the Atto 3 Up. So is the yen up a car you should consider? It will definitely be cheaper than the Atto 3. It's much cheaper than the Atto 3 in China. So it starts at a couple of $1,000 US cheaper than the Atto 3 in China. It starts in fact at around $13,000 US. Now, it might actually be cheaper than that now because BYD have reduced their prices since this vehicle was first launched back in March of this year in China. Back in March when it was launched, the price was fairly competitive, but since then BYD have reduced prices across almost all their range. So it could be around $12,000 US in its cheapest version today in China. It's very, very cheap. But to be honest, there's other competitors that are maybe a little bit better, I think, in around that price segment. So it's $13,400 US for the base model when it was first launched. The mid-spec model is $15,000 US and the top spec is $16,600 US. Clearly, it's going to be, like I said, cheaper than the Atto 3, and for a reason. It has smaller batteries and slower charging speeds. So here are the numbers. First of all, it uses BYD's Blade battery, of course, as do all BYD electric cars. And it uses the E-Platform 3.0 with their structural battery pack, as do all now BYD EVs. So this is good for structural strength. Structural battery packs are great. Very, very positive thing there. So you're not getting a cheap car when it comes to safety standards. Definitely a safe car. In terms of the looks, guys, I actually think this car looks pretty good. I'm a fan of the looks. How big is it though? It kind of looks big, but it's definitely not big. It's 4.3 meters long, so 4,310 millimeters long, 1,830 millimeters wide. It's actually a pretty similar size to the Volvo EX30. If you've seen a Volvo EX30, great looking car, similar size to that.